Hearing that Joe Biden withdrew his name from the US election 2024, and that was absolutely shocking news for me though. I hope you were also shocked as much as I am and as much as others, because people were quite really thinking about it. How could it be possible, like Joe Biden really withdrawing his name from the presidential election 2024, where he has already put enormous amounts of effort? Yes, you are right. It was around like last month when Joe Biden decided to withdraw his name from the presidential election 2024. I was just sleeping, and when I woke up and I checked the headline, I was absolutely, baffled. I never thought that Joe Biden would do this thing with himself, because he's the one boys queens obsessed with his position, quite obsessed with this race, and he was very much infatuated to win this election. But what happened that day, I was absolutely shocked hearing it. But I think he deserved like to end of his career in that particular way. You remember 1.5 months ago when there was a presidential debate between Joe Biden and Donald Trump? How was he exactly mumbling on the stage? How was he exactly stumbling on the stage? He could not even speak and utter single like proper word. He was like like that. That was just something that I don't want to defame, or I don't want to sound very like cheap, or I'm not making this video as an inflammatory or derogatory for anybody. I am respecting everybody. I am a public speaker. It's my duty to respect everyone. But the day what I saw exactly, that was absolutely ridiculous. The worst part is like the Western medias were not accepting that somehow Joe Biden has already lost the battle against Donald Trump. Instead of accepting these over things, they were just making this hardcore headline everywhere in the newspaper that Joe Biden is the person who has not lost the election before joining the stage, or getting onto the stage. The person has had a hardcore sex with his wife. I am so shameful to say these kind of lines, but this is what happened. People were saying he was quite tired because he could not sleep. Some of them were saying like he could not just really you can say perform well because he just had a sex with his wife, like before joining the, you can say, debate. By the way, who does sex before joining the stage? I have no idea. I've never heard of any of them, but like people from this party can do anything. And by the way, like today in this video we are going to talk about like the the presidential election of the US 2024. So, in 2024, the exciting video, we dive into the showdown between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris as they gear up for the 2024 presidential election. Who will emerge victorious? Now, I don't know who will win, or emerge victorious. My work and duty here is to present the facts in front of you, and you need to decide who will be the next president of the US. So we analyze their political strategies, key policies, and public look at this high stakes battle. So now we're gonna dive into this video without any wait. As we gear up for the 2024 presidential election, the spotlight is on to formidable candidates, Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. Is it really formidable? You can say candidates. I don't think so. Like, she's a formidable candidate. I think she's far easier than Joe Biden to defeat. She's far easier to outmaneuver by Donald Trump, than Joe Biden. And that's what Donald Trump said. He said like he was easy. But now when I talk about Kamala Harris, she is more easy to defeat than Joe Biden. She's more easier to defeat than Joe Biden, I guess. That's what he said. So actually somehow he was exactly making sense. Who is Donald Trump? A former president, is known for his polarizing policies and a loyal base that stand firmly behind him. His track record on the economy and immigration keeps him in the conversation, but can he really enough support after a turbulent term? On the other hand, Kamala Harris brings a fresh perspective as the first female vice president. Her focus on social justice and healthcare resonates with many voters, but will her experience and charisma be enough to sway undecided Americans? Polls are fluctuating, debates are heating up, and key issues like economy, climate change, and healthcare are at the forefront of this election. Both candidates have their strengths and weakness, and the outcome remains uncertain. As we dive deeper into this election cycle, who will ultimately claim the presidency victory in 2024? That's why you have clicked this video, and let's find out, according to me, who will win this election and what people are exactly talking about this around the world. So, there's no doubt that Kamala Harris would be, like a better opportunity than having a Joe Biden as a, like a showcase or as a front runner of Democratic Party. Because since Kamala Harris took the power and she announced that she is absolutely the time she had been endorsed by Donald Joe Biden that she is going to run the, like for the presidential election 2024. Since that time till now, she is quite popular than Joe Biden. At least she is not fumbling on the stage. She is absolutely not stamping on the stage, and she's speaking the facts and absolutely speaking all right. She is the one who is able to get a lot of, you can say, like fundraising from the, you can say, investors, because US elections mostly run on the investors, whether they are going to invest money or not. The second hand, Donald Trump has gained a lot of popularity in recent weeks. Just why? Because he got shot, like in his, you can say, ears. You might have heard that news, like when he was giving a speech in the US, and suddenly he got, exactly, that city name was Butler or something if I'm not wrong. Then suddenly he got hit, like a bullet in his ear. There was a person who stood in front of the sniper and Donald Trump, and then he saw dead. Panicked, spread out, mayhem happened, people started running over each other, and that situation was absolutely worst. Like America has ever witnessed or has ever seen. Since that time, Donald Trump has become quite more popular than ever. Donald Trump has been facing a lot of problems, including like a lot of felony charges, 34 felony charges, including the, you can say, illegitimate sex with the porn star Stormy Daniel. After that, hiding like classified document of White House illegally at his home Mar-a-Lago. After that, there were a lot of like charges he was absolutely facing. Jency Carroll charges, we have heard about it, that how he got into a grocery store, then he had like a forced a random woman to to be incentivized towards him in a changing room. That is absolutely very rare to hear from me what that exactly people were saying. But people are saying like it is absolutely about the luck of Kamala Harris to win this election. Let me tell you the fact, it is not about the luck. Why? I'm gonna prove it. But luck will not be enough. To win, Miss Harris must also pass those political tests. The first is to articulate the convictions that will be the foundation for her presidency without lapsing into promises to hand or out welfare checks. Her identity as the first Black and South Asian woman to run for president could, if handled right, make her a compelling symbol of the American dream. Rather than letting progressive pull her to the left, she should back pragmatic policies that serve ordinary Americans. Mr. Trump, he can say, is out to serve himself. This will mean touting the accomplishments of Mr. Biden's presidency more effectively than he could in, you can say, particular. Next up, I would say America's most significant climate legislation ever. Always legislation ever. But it also means facing up to the Biden's administration's poor record on immigrations with the help of a tough plan for the, like southern border. In contrast to Mr. Biden, she must acknowledge voters struggle with inflation. She should continue to speak out, and that involves being aware of Republican chefs claiming that this means the unrestricted abortions late in pregnancy, which most Americans reject. When pressed as she will be, she should make clear that she thinks trans women have an unfair advantage in competitive women's sports. So there are a lot of topics that Kamala Harris should be focusing, as Donald Trump has already made his mind that if he would be the next president of the US, as we know, like for the long time, he has been just conspiring all of the steps to just create a block there, just create a like barricade, like between Mexico and America, the border of Mexico and America, where 44,000 people are trying to cross the border illegally every single day. And that is the biggest problem. Joe Biden lifted Title 42, which was like issued by Donald Trump himself so far. And now what we can see that people are still exactly trying to cross the border illegally into the US. And last year 2,000 people died just by the overdose of drugs, fentanyl, or many more stuff. So where these drugs are coming from, and how could they exactly get these drugs, where these guns are coming from, where these criminals are coming from? One speech I remember of Donald Trump where he said that one thing I would definitely say, that there's nothing wrong to take people around the world into our country, but first we must think about our people. And the thing is here, when these people are pouring into the America, first of all, we have got no idea whether these people are coming from open air prison, whether these people are criminal, whether they have had like a proper identity or not. Just example, like if somebody comes into America and then that person kills somebody and then again flee to another country or flees to somewhere else, then how American government would find out this person? Because they don't have any identity and they don't have anything to talk about. The second thing Kamala Harris should focus right now, which is about the abortion right. According to a YouGov survey this week, Miss Harris outperforms Mr. Trump by 12%. Can you believe this? She outperforms Mr. Trump by 12 percentage points on who would be better at handling an abortion issue. When the same question was asked about Mr. Biden earlier this month, he outperformed Mr. Trump by only 5 points. Among young Democrats, among the young Democratic women, 69% trust Ms. Harris to speak about the issue, compared with 49% for Mr. Biden, according to KFF, a non-profit organization focused on health. So I believe like she would be the perfect, examples to talk about the abortion right in the US. Joe versus, Wade case, and there are many cases going on currently now in the US related to this abortion and hemophil. So I think Kamala Harris would be the perfect candidate to speak about the fact that, as I said, Joe Biden outperformed Donald Trump, outmaneuvered Donald Trump just by 5%, but this lady has outperformed Donald Trump by 9%. That is absolutely one of a huge number, because I have seen that Donald Trump, has had some kind of, you can say, hardcore strategy rule towards those immigrants, those people who are coming or pouring into America, and those people who are crossing the border, and the other people who are just fighting for their rights, trans women, and many more things. That's whether trans women should be competing in a men's sports or not. There are a lot of, you can say, controversies going on recently in America. Ms. Harris' third state is to offer America hope, is a VC elections powered by fear and looting. She may be tempted to peddle apocalyptic visions of a second Trump term. Better to use humor and optimism like any better to use him optimism like any bully. Her opponent is vulnerable to mockery. So, but Miss Harris is underdog. Her first big decision, her vice president, is a chance to catch up and plant her, like a campaign in the center ground. Joe Shapiro, the eloquent governor of Pennsylvania, could help in a must-win state. But the fact is here, how this 2024 US elections will really affect the world, and what kind of changes we can really see in 2024, not presumably 2025, let's talk about, because it may take January month approximately to declare who is the winner, because the election will be held in the month of October, November. People were talking about November, some of them said in October, but so I think it will be January till they will declare who is the winner of the US president 2024. So I think in 2025 we will see the next president of the US. And first of all, I believe that if Donald Trump was the president of the United States of America, neither Taliban took over the Afghanistan, nor Russia tried to invade Ukraine, nor Israel and Palestine conflict would have happened, nor you can say North Korea would have gone this much far. So I believe Donald Trump was a very, very fearsome character, and actually he really made his positions very strong in front of other world leaders, that I am not only the US president, I am the one who has been called by others and who has been recognized by others as the most strongest man in the world. So according to me, I think he is able to prove it. So whatever the allegations has been put on him, it is not going to stop him from running the presidential election 2024. So let's hope for the best. Who will win this 2024 elections? Do not forget to mention it in the comment section. Thank you very much for stopping by the video. I have tried my level best to shorten this video length, but I think I had to split out the facts. That's why I had to stretch a little bit, you can say, the length of this video. It's all right. Thank you very much for stopping by. Do not forget to subscribe this button, and like this video and share with your friends and loved ones. Thank you very much, and do not forget to tell me what you think about who will win the 2024 US election in the comment section. Take care.